going to make a trout bake today. It's an old classic and I'm going to put my little spin on things. I've got these beautiful fillets of trout. You could use any other fish for this. Salmon works well, tuna would work well. We're going to use potatoes. We will need a lemon, 2 or 3 eggs, some fresh dill, optional. If you don't like dill, leave it out. Capers, again, if you're not a fan, don't worry about it. A little bit of mustard. We need some grated cheese, butter, and a little flour because we're going to make a bechamel sauce. First thing we want to do is hard boil our eggs. So pop those into a little saucepan, cover just to the tops with water, pop on the stove for about 6 minutes, just on a medium simmering heat. I have prepared some earlier, so I don't need to cook these ones. While they're cooking, we're going to cut up our potatoes. We want these really nice and thin so that they're going to cook through when everything goes into the oven. So if you've got a potato slicer at home, bonus. If not, we just want them really nice and thin. Okay, now the fun part, the tedious part, is skinning our fillets. Because these are quite nice and big fillets, I'm going to cut them down the centre just to make the skinning process a little easier. Filleting knife, sharp knife, #1 go-to. So straight down the centre there. It's a beautiful piece of fish. A little trick, always sort of cut the end just to get it started, and then we're going to pull on the skin really firmly, and there's not a lot of work that should have to happen with the knife. So we want to keep it fairly straight, a little bit of an angle is okay, and just a small sort of sawing action, but most of the movement's going to come from pulling that skin really tight. All right. This is where we all hold our breath and cross our fingers. Look at that, people. And barely any fish on there. Let's do these to the rest and then we can move on. Now we do have a few pin bones running through this fillet. Many of you may have little tweezers at home. Otherwise, you can just pull them out yourself. So they're quite big, so you can feel them. So just go through and pull them out. We just want nice chunky cubes. So we'll just cut each fillet in half again. And just sort of roughly dice them. Okay, next up we have our bechamel sauce. So we're going to need some butter and some flour that gets our roux happening. Then we're going to add some milk. We're going to then add in some mustard and lemon, a little bit of salt and pepper, and that will be our white sauce ready for our bake. Okay, so for our bechamel sauce, I've got medium heat, and I've just put 1 of the knobs of butter in there. And we're just going to let that melt down. Just want a really nice smooth consistency, which is why we use a whisk. And we're just going to let it cook probably just for a minute on the stove, just so the floury taste cooks out. Going to add some salt and pepper. We're slowly whisk in our milk. As the milk heats up, it's going to start to thicken. That's coming together really lovely. It's very silky, it's quite glossy. And that's exactly what we're after. Mustard, a couple of teaspoons, and I'm going to squeeze in that lemon that we reserved a little bit earlier. And your trusty lemon press, just so we don't get any pips in there. That is perfect. I'm going to turn the heat off now. Lovely, gorgeous bechamel mustard lemon sauce. Okay, time to assemble. We have all our elements ready for our beautiful bake, so we're going to start layering it. So a little bit of a spray in a nice casserole dish. And we are going to start with a little scoop of our sauce, just so that nothing sticks on the bottom. Do a layer of potatoes. Okay, probably 1/3 of our beautiful trout. Sprinkle it over, don't need to be too delicate. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of our dill that I chopped up. Oh, it smells divine. Half of our eggs. Okay, got a layer of our sauce, and we're going to repeat the same layering. Jill. I'm going to put the capers on. Again, these are optional, just a little nice, beautiful salty kick. Rest of our egg. And then we're going to top it off with our sauce. I think my cameraman's getting hungry. Lovely, lush topping of cheese. So we're going to put this into a hot oven, 180 degrees. I'm going to give it about 30 to 45 minutes. Does that not look delicious or what? We're just going to let this cool down, and in the meantime we can prepare a beautiful side salad to go along with it, and perhaps even crisp up some of those skins that we cut off as well.